Today's video, how to make a woman feel a deep emotional connection with you. Welcome to another video where I teach you how to become a real man of value, attract the right women, and build respect everywhere you go. Brother, listen to me carefully, because this might change the way you see yourself forever. I've seen men who look perfect on the outside. Good job, good looks, confident smile. But when it comes to making a woman feel something real, they fail. Why? Because attraction is easy, but connection, real, deep, emotional connection, that's where most men fall apart. I'm telling you this because I've been there. I used to think it was about what I said, but then I learned it's about what she feels when she's around you. Stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you may change everything. Let me ask you something, and I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. Have you ever been around a woman you really liked? She smiled, she laughed, she even seemed interested, but still, somewhere deep inside, you felt she wasn't truly connecting with you. It's like she enjoyed your company, but she didn't feel you. She listened to your words, but she didn't feel your presence. She talked to you, but she didn't emotionally connect with you. And that, my friend, is where most men fail. Because most men think women get emotionally attached because of what you say. But I'm here to tell you, it's not about what you say. It's about what she feels when she's around you. I know this because I've been in that place myself. Years ago, I would bend over backwards to impress women. I'd say all the right things, be funny, charismatic, polite. But for some reason, they would still choose to open up emotionally to other guys. Guys who didn't talk as much, guys who weren't as polished, guys who didn't try so hard. That's when I learned something powerful. Connection, real emotional connection, is not built with words. It's built with energy, presence, and emotional depth. You see, a woman can like you without trusting you. She can be attracted to you without feeling safe with you. She can even respect you, but still not feel emotionally connected, because emotional connection is something deeper. It's something almost primal. It's that feeling where she doesn't fully understand why, but when she's around you, she feels calm, understood, safe, and seen. And most men, no matter how impressive, intelligent, confident, funny, or handsome, simply don't know how to make a woman feel that. They know how to entertain, they know how to impress, but they don't know how to connect. Let me tell you a story. Years ago, I was meeting two friends at a cafe. One was a good-looking, successful guy, smooth talker, dressed well, knew how to flirt. The other, quiet, reserved, calm, didn't say much, but the woman we were with kept naturally gravitating toward him. Not because he was flirting, not because he was trying to get her attention, not because he was showing off. It was because he was present. He listened. He didn't try to force anything. He didn't try to impress her. He made her feel seen. And in that moment, I realized something that changed everything for me. Women don't fall for the man who tries to impress her. They fall for the man who makes her feel emotionally safe, understood, and deeply felt. They fall for the man whose presence speaks louder than his words. The man who doesn't just talk, but makes her feel. That's when I stopped chasing connection through words and started building connection through presence, through energy, through certainty, through emotional depth. And I tell you right now, when you learn how to do this, everything changes. You no longer have to guess what to say. You no longer have to try to impress her. You no longer have to overthink every text, every move, every word, because how you make her feel becomes the real attraction. When a woman feels emotionally connected to you, she thinks about you when you're not around. She opens up to you, she trusts you, she becomes comfortable being her true self around you. And that, my friend, is where real feminine attraction begins. But here's the painful truth. Most men never experience this. They stay stuck in surface-level attraction. They get laughs, compliments, maybe even a date or two, but they never touch her soul. They never make her think, there's something different about this man. They never make her feel, I don't just like him, I feel connected to him. And this is why I made this video. Because once you understand how to build emotional connection with a woman, you don't just become more attractive, you become unforgettable. And listen to me carefully. Women don't fall in love logically. They fall in love emotionally, not because of what makes sense, but because of what makes them feel. And I'm going to show you how to do exactly that. Not through cheesy lines, not through tricks, not through fake nice guy behavior, but through real, masculine emotional presence. The kind of presence that makes a woman feel, this man doesn't just see me, he understands me. He makes me feel safe. He makes me feel calm. He makes me feel real. And here's the big secret most men never hear. You don't build emotional connection by trying to get her to feel something for you. You build emotional connection by being the kind of man who makes her feel something within herself. Read that again. She's not attracted to how you feel. She's attracted to how she feels when she's with you. Confidence is good, looks help. Success is attractive, but emotional presence, that changes everything, because when a woman feels emotionally safe around you, she opens up. She lets her guard down, she connects, she trusts, she feels. And when she feels deeply, she falls deeply. That, my friend, is emotional attraction. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to create it. Step by step, psychologically, naturally, without pretending to be someone you're not. Because once I learned this, my entire life changed. Women didn't just like me. They felt connected to me. They trusted me. They chose me, not because I was the funniest, not because I was the most handsome, but because I understood how to make them feel. And now, I'm going to teach you. So stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal could change your entire understanding of attraction, and maybe even change your life. Now that you understand the power of emotional connection, let's go deeper into why most men struggle to create it, even when they genuinely care about a woman. I want you to really pay attention here, not just as a man trying to attract women, but as a man trying to understand human emotion. Because what I'm about to tell you, most men never hear in their lifetime. The real reason men fail to form emotional connection is simple. Men connect through logic, women connect through emotion. We, as men, tend to bond through shared goals, activities, experiences, things we do. But women, they connect through how someone makes them feel. It's not about the activity, it's about the emotional experience. Let me show you something powerful. When a man says, "I like her," he usually means, "I find her attractive. I enjoy being around her. She makes me feel good." But when a woman says, "I feel connected to him," she means, "I feel safe to be myself. He understands me emotionally. I feel seen, not judged. I feel calm when I'm with him. Something about him just feels right." See the difference? Men chase attraction. Women crave connection. That's why sometimes you see a woman deeply connected to a man who isn't the tallest, the richest, or the most handsome. Yet she says, "I can't explain it, but there's something about him." What she's describing is emotional presence. So where do most men go wrong? Here are the biggest mistakes. 1. Trying too hard to impress instead of trying to connect. When a man likes a woman, he often starts performing, showing off, trying to be funny, trying to say the perfect thing. But women don't fall for perfection, they fall for authenticity. A man trying to impress is actually pushing her away emotionally, because she can feel that his intention is self-serving. He's trying to get her attention, approval, admiration. But a man who's grounded, present, and authentic, he's not trying to get something, he's simply being, and that is magnetic. 2. Overthinking instead of being present. When most men talk to a woman they're attracted to, their mind is racing. What should I say? Am I doing this right? Does she like me? Am I making a good impression? That anxiety pulls you out of the moment. And when you're not fully present, she feels it. Women are highly intuitive. They can tell when you're mentally distracted. They can sense when you're trying too hard, when you're nervous, when you're seeking approval. She might not consciously know it, but emotionally she feels it. And emotional uncertainty is a major attraction killer. Here's a truth you won't hear often. Women don't fall for the man who says the right things. They fall for the man who feels right when she's with him. Your calm presence is more attractive than any perfect line you could say. 3. Keeping emotions locked away. Men are trained to hide their emotions. Since childhood, we hear things like, "Man up, don't show weakness, don't talk about your feelings," so we become emotionally guarded. We become experts at hiding how we feel. But here's the problem. You can't connect emotionally if you're emotionally unavailable. Now let me make something very clear. Emotional availability is not about being sensitive or overly emotional. It's about being emotionally present, emotionally aware, and emotionally grounded. You don't need to cry. You don't need to solve her problems. You don't need to be a therapist. You simply need to be present enough to understand and feel what she's feeling. Because when a woman opens up emotionally, she's not asking for a solution. She's asking for presence. She's asking for understanding. She's asking for emotional safety. Most men ruin it by saying things like, "Don't worry, it's nothing. You're overreacting. It's fine. Just ignore it." They try to fix her emotions instead of feeling them with her. And that, my friend, is why emotional connection never forms. You don't need to fix, you just need to understand. 4. Seeking validation instead of giving emotional certainty. One of the biggest mistakes men make is constantly trying to get reassurance from a woman. Do you like me? Did I do something wrong? Did you have fun? Let me tell you something powerful. Women can feel when a man needs validation, and nothing breaks emotional attraction faster than emotional neediness. Women feel emotionally safe with a man who is secure in himself. A man who doesn't seek permission to feel confident. A man who doesn't need a woman to tell him he's good enough. Because emotional safety doesn't come from a man who's desperate to be accepted. It comes from a man who accepts himself. A grounded man. A centered man. A man who creates emotional certainty because he doesn't chase it. So, what do women actually respond to? They respond to presence. A man who is emotionally calm and fully there. Certainty, a man who leads with confidence and clarity, not confusion. Understanding, a man who listens to emotions, not just words. Emotional groundedness, a man who doesn't get thrown off by her mood, emotions, or reactions. Authenticity, a man who is comfortable in his own identity. No performance, no masks. Women don't open up to a man who tries to impress them. They open up to a man who makes them feel emotionally safe. They don't fall for the loudest man in the room. They fall for the man whose presence feels strong, steady, and real. They don't fall for a man who promises them the world. They fall for a man in whose presence their world feels different. Let me give you the ultimate truth. A woman doesn't truly connect with a man's achievements. She connects with his emotional energy. Your job is not to perform. It's not to be perfect. It's not to entertain her. Your job is to be emotionally grounded, to be present, to be calm, to be real. Because when you become that kind of man, you don't chase emotional connection, you attract it. And in the next part of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do just that, how to make a woman feel safe, seen, and emotionally connected to you. Without pretending, without overthinking, without performing, we're about to go deep into masculine emotional presence, the secret to making her feel something she can't explain, but won't ever want to live without. Now that you understand why men struggle to build emotional connection, it's time to step into transformation. This is where you stop chasing, stop performing, stop trying to get something from women, and instead become the kind of man who naturally attracts connection by who he is. This isn't about learning lines or tricks. It's about becoming a man whose presence speaks louder than his words. So let's talk about how to embody emotional strength, certainty, respect, mystery, and value. Real, masculine value. 1. The core mindset. Shift. Stop trying to impress. Start expressing. Most men think attraction is about proving value. So they talk about their achievements, goals, lifestyle, money, ambitions, or ideas, hoping she'll see their worth. But women don't connect to your accomplishments. They connect to your emotional foundation. A masculine man doesn't try to be impressive. He expresses who he is, calmly, confidently, without forcing it. He doesn't sell himself. He doesn't advertise his worth. He just is, and that alone draws attention. When you stop trying to prove and instead start being present, your energy shifts. You go from performing to leading, from chasing to choosing, from seeking approval to radiating certainty. That shift is magnetic. 2. Emotional strength, the masculine anchor. Let me give you a powerful visual. Imagine the ocean during a storm. Waves crashing, wind howling, chaos everywhere. But at the bottom, deep below the surface, it's calm, peaceful, silent. That's masculine energy. Women are emotionally expressive, like waves. They move, they flow, they change, they react, they feel. Your role as a man is not to calm her waves. It's not to stop the movement. It's simply to remain grounded, unshaken, because when your presence is stable, she feels safe to be herself. That, my friend, is emotional leadership. You don't control her emotions. You don't fix her emotions. You don't run from her emotions. You hold space for them. When you do this, she naturally feels more open, more feminine, more connected. Not because you did something, but because you held your masculine frame. 3. Body language that communicates strength without a word. Women don't just listen to your words. They read your presence. They feel your energy. So let's talk about body language, not the fake pickup type, but real masculine presence. Men who lack emotional strength display anxious body language, restless movements, talking too fast, nervous laughter, trying to fill every silence, leaning in too much, over-exaggerated facial expressions, fidgeting, checking phone, adjusting clothes. All of these send a clear message. I'm trying to make you comfortable because I'm uncomfortable. The masculine alternative is different. Real masculine body language is grounded, calm, and controlled. Stillness, minimal intentional movements, slow, steady breathing, strong, relaxed posture, shoulders open, not rigid, eye contact, not intense, but confident and calm, unafraid of silence. Silence is powerful. A slight, controlled smile, not a look-at-me smile, but a grounded, knowing one. Women feel this energy. They don't always understand why, but they feel emotionally safe around it because your stillness creates emotional stability. 4. The mysterious man. Why mystery attracts women deeply. Women aren't attracted to what they fully understand. They are attracted to what they are still discovering. Most men talk too much. They reveal everything. They dump their story all at once because they want to be fully known. But mystery isn't about hiding information. Mystery is about depth. It's about being a man with layers, not because you're secretive, but because you're genuinely complex, thoughtful, observant, emotionally intelligent. Women don't want a man who hides, but they are drawn to a man who doesn't rush to reveal everything. Mystery is not a tactic. It's the natural result of having a rich inner world and not needing to display it. You don't have to say, I'm interesting. You just live in such a way that it becomes obvious. 5. Your tone and voice. The masculine, calm. You can speak confidently without raising your voice. In fact, true confidence speaks slower, calmer, deeper. An anxious voice seeks approval. A masculine voice creates presence. Speak slowly, not because you're lazy, but because you don't chase reactions. Pause before responding. Men who rush to answer show insecurity. Lower the emotional tone, not emotionally flat, but emotionally grounded. Speak with intention, not just words. There's something deeply attractive about a man who speaks calmly, with patience, and uses silence strategically, because silence, when used confidently, builds emotional tension. 6. The power of respect, not nice guy. Behavior. Let me be clear, being respectful is attractive. Trying to earn respect by being overly accommodating is not. The difference? Respect is strength. People-pleasing is weakness disguised as kindness. A real masculine man is kind, but he is not controlled by kindness. He is respectful, but he has boundaries. He values others, but he values himself first. Women feel this difference instinctively. A man who tries too hard to please communicates, "Your comfort is more important than my self-respect." But a masculine man expresses something different. "I can be generous, kind, and understanding without losing myself in the process." Boundaries are not barriers, they are signs of self-respect, and women emotionally connect to a man who respects himself. 7. Confidence without arrogance. Let me give you a powerful mindset shift. Arrogance is insecurity that's disguised as strength. Confidence is quiet certainty. An arrogant man tries to appear strong. A confident man simply is strong. An arrogant man needs attention. A confident man attracts attention without requesting it. An arrogant man takes up space to be seen. A confident man naturally holds space. Confidence isn't loud, it's subtle. It's not the man who speaks the most. It's the man whose presence is most felt. 8. Value. Stop saying you're valuable. Become valuable. You don't convince women you're valuable. You live in such a way that it's undeniable. Value isn't just financial or physical. Masculine value also means emotional discipline, purpose and direction, a life you're passionate about, standards, boundaries, principles, the ability to lead, not control, the ability to calm, not react, the ability to listen, not judge. When a man has these qualities, he doesn't seek connection. Women feel connection with him, not because of what he says, but because of who he is. This is the transformation, from validation seeking to emotionally steady, from overthinking to present, from performing to expressing, from trying to be attractive to being unignorably attractive without trying. And in the next part, I will show you how to apply this, how to create real emotional connection through actual conversations, moments, energy, and presence, so that she doesn't just hear you, she feels something she can't explain, but won't ever walk away from. Now let's bring everything to real life, because masculine emotional presence means nothing if it stays as theory. You need to walk into real situations, at work, school, texting, dating, or even when she pulls away, and carry yourself like a man who creates emotional connection through presence, certainty, and calm leadership. So let's walk through common scenarios, and I'll show you exactly how a high-value, emotionally grounded man acts differently. Scenario 1. Texting, the calm, confident communicator. Most men texting a woman they like become overly responsive, nervous, and eager. They text fast, they use too many emojis, they try too hard to be funny or charming. They overthink every word. A high-value man communicates differently. He communicates with calm certainty. He doesn't chase conversation. He doesn't try to be impressive. His texts are clear, confident, and purposeful. Low-value texting, "Hey, how was your day?" You probably think I'm annoying, LOL. Why aren't you answering? Did I say something wrong? High-value texting, "Hope your week's going well. You mentioned you were working on a presentation. How did it go? I'm heading out, but let's talk later. Good conversation today. I like how you think. See the difference? One man wants attention, the other man offers value. One seeks validation, the other gives emotional clarity." Scenario 2. On a date, how presence creates attraction. A lot of men spend the whole date trying to entertain her, trying to be impressive or funny. They fill every silence. They talk about themselves too much, or they go interview mode. But the high-value man does something rare. He makes her feel calm by being calm. He listens, not just to respond, but to understand. He looks at her, not with intensity, but presence. Attraction isn't built when you perform. It's built when you allow a woman to feel emotionally safe and seen. Here's what it looks like. She tells a story. Most men interrupt, comment, joke, or try to relate it back to themselves. But the calm, grounded man listens. He nods. He processes. And when he speaks slowly, deliberately. He might say, "That seems like it genuinely meant something to you. I can tell that experience changed you." Or simply, "Interesting. Tell me more about that." Women crave this emotional acknowledgement. Not performance, presence. Scenario 3. At work. Masculine respect without people-pleasing. You don't need to flirt in the office, but your presence at work reveals everything about your masculine energy. Most men try to be liked. They agree with everyone. They avoid conflict. They say yes to everything. The high-value man, he respects others, but he respects himself more. He doesn't seek approval from his boss or female co-workers. He doesn't try to look smart. He simply is consistent, competent, and confident. He doesn't speak the most, but when he speaks, people listen, not because his voice is loud, but because his presence is calm and certain. That's masculine value, without bragging, without ego, without neediness. Scenario 4. When she starts losing interest. This is where most men panic. They become emotional, overthink, and chase harder. They ask questions like, "Did I do something wrong? Are you mad at me? Do you still like me?" But emotional chasing kills attraction. A high-value man sees her emotional distance, and instead of chasing, he becomes even more emotionally grounded. Because a woman pulls away to test your emotional strength. She wants to see, can I emotionally shift him? Can I unbalance him? When you stay calm, centered, and respectful, it builds emotional attraction. You don't text more. You don't complain. You don't beg for answers. Instead, you allow space, because emotional space creates emotional clarity. A masculine response may simply be, "Seems like your focus is somewhere else lately. That's okay. Let's talk when things realign." Calm, non-reactive, non-judgmental. That's emotional leadership. Scenario 5. When you approach a woman for the first time. Most men think attraction is about saying something clever, but in reality, it's your tone, your posture, your facial expression, your presence. Here's how a high-value man approaches. He walks slowly, shoulders relaxed, breathing calm. He makes brief eye contact, not aggressive, not shy, simply present. And when he speaks, he doesn't rush. He says calmly, "Hey, I noticed your energy. You seem interesting. I'm David." Not trying to be funny, not trying to perform, just speaking with emotional clarity and calm certainty. Women don't just hear those words, they feel the energy they come from. Scenario 6. When she's upset or emotional. This moment exposes everything. Most men get uncomfortable when a woman is emotional. They either try to fix it. "Don't worry, it's not a big deal. You're overthinking. You should just let it go." Or they get defensive, or they disconnect emotionally. But a masculine man does something powerful. He stays calm, he listens, he holds emotional space without trying to escape or fix. He says, "I see why you'd feel that way. Seems like that affected you more than you expected. I get it. I hear you." He doesn't miraculously solve her problem. He simply provides emotional stability. That's when she feels something she hasn't felt with many men. Safe, seen, connected. Scenario 7. When she pulls away. After deep connection. There's a crucial truth most men don't understand. A woman might emotionally connect with you, but still pull away for a moment. She does this because deep emotional connection is powerful, and sometimes it scares her. Most men react with fear, insecurity, or pressure, ruining the connection. But the masculine man does something different. He trusts the connection. He gives space. He doesn't panic. He doesn't chase. He knows real emotional connection doesn't need to be controlled. It needs to be respected. So instead of chasing, he calmly says, "I understand. Take some space if you need. I'm here when you're ready for real connection." That message doesn't beg. It doesn't guilt. It doesn't chase. It communicates emotional calm, and calmness almost always draws her back. This is emotional leadership, not by controlling, not by chasing, not by working harder, but by being emotionally calm, secure, present, no matter what she does. That's what she feels. That's what she remembers. And that's what she trusts. In the final chapter, I'll show you how to maintain and protect emotional connection so that once you create it, it doesn't fade, but deepens over time. How to make a woman feel a deep emotional connection with you. Welcome to another video where I teach you how to become a real man of value, attract women the right way, and build respect everywhere you go. Most men think attraction is about looks, money, flashy cars, or saying the perfect line. But what women crave, what they rarely talk about, is emotional certainty, a deep emotional connection. That feeling that when she's with you, she feels understood, safe, excited, and alive. Not bored, not confused, but emotionally connected. And that connection isn't built by chasing, begging, funny jokes, or even being the nice guy. It is built through emotional leadership. Before I wrap up, let me tell you something powerful. Emotional connection is not just about making her feel something. It's about you becoming the kind of man who women feel something around, the kind of man who speaks with conviction, who looks her in the eye without doubt or fear, who doesn't rush, doesn't try too hard, but knows his value. A man who is emotionally stable, grounded, and confident in who he is. You've now seen how emotional connection is built. Its authenticity, presence, emotional leadership, masculine certainty, integrity, and most importantly, it is about not needing her to like you because you already like yourself. That's when she feels something real, not because you played games, not because you chased her, not because you tried to impress her, but because you showed up as a real, grounded, emotionally strong man. That is irresistible. So here's your mission from today. Start building emotional strength, not by suppressing feelings, but by mastering them. Be aware of your reactions, practice presence, stop chasing instant responses, and instead build a life where you don't need validation. Talk less, mean more, and let silence create tension. Speak with purpose, listen with intention, lead, don't follow, and watch how women will start to see you differently, not just as a man she likes, but as a man she can feel. Because deep emotional connection is not something you give her, it's something she experiences when she's with a man who has it within himself. Now, if you're ready to go deeper, if you want to understand how to master emotional control, build high-value communication, and make women feel drawn to you emotionally, mentally, and physically, then you must keep learning. So do something most men never do. Take action. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember, real men don't chase. They attract. Before you go, remember this. You don't become a high-value man overnight. It's not about being perfect. It's about becoming stronger, wiser, and more disciplined every single day. Real men don't chase, they attract. Real men don't beg, they build value. And real men don't live for validation. They become the kind of man who doesn't need it. If this video helped you, then do something most men never do. Take action. Subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video with a brother who needs to hear this message. And tell me in the comments, what kind of man are you becoming starting today? I'll be here to guide you. Stay strong, stay focused, stay unshakable. I'll see you in the next video.